Because this isn't about finishing anything, right? It's just about you go home tonight and you say, oh, I had fun. That thing looks like crap, but you know what? I was in a place of fun. I'm going to pick my brighter color, and I think it's this green. And all I'm going to do is I'm filling this. Now, does some of you have access to a water bottle? Yeah. Anybody don't? Because I have one here I can share with you. Do you have one, Melinda? Okay. Water is great because, well, I learned water in Santa Fe. It's so dry there. You put the paint on it. It's like, so you spray. Oops, this is on a hard spray. This is on my orchid spray. But see, it lets it move around. Now, what I want you to fall in love with, do not worry about drips. You're flat, but I just want you to just notice stuff. This is a meditation. You know, painting is just about, see, this is not present. Yeah. This is present. Oh, look at that. Wow. Right? Look at this back. Oh, that's it. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to let that little white come through because it adds another layer. Now, remember, everything we do here in this early stage, well, you can bet it's going to be painted over. Yeah. Right? Now, one of the things that's a challenge is that giving it time to dry. But I want to show you one other thing you can do with this. If you have a lighter color like white, you can just, on the side, you grab into the side, and you can blend a little bit of that in. Do you see how it's, do you see the little bit of depth it's adding? Bright white, titanium, and this. So there's this parchment, I'm sorry. It's giving it a little bit layers. But I don't want you to go, do not introduce your other color, okay? I'm going to hold you still here because we're learning, right? And, you know, I want you to know that technique, which I call so simple, took 20 years. You know, it took 20 years to learn how to be simple, right? Because I would sit there and I'd work it. That's all I want you to do. That's it. That's it. Just see, it's messy. It's not messy, right? It's not to freeze you, but this is cool.
I stuck my finger in it.
But you know what? Those circles, look, if you stand here and you look at it, you go, oh. And you could say, oh, maybe I want to make a bigger circle here. So you see, you're listening to the painting. And that mistake is telling you, oh, maybe I should make that mistake bigger. Because it's actually very interesting having a square shape with a double. And it's the double circle that's neat. So it's about really being present to it. Oh, what is so neat about that? What if I stick my finger in it? You could. I mean, you could do it again. Yeah. You can repeat it. What we were discovering over here is, which is what Virginia would teach, is you can also take, you can take tissue and you wet it, and you roll over it, and you pull back up, you know, like she's doing down here. And it makes these interesting textures. The hardest thing is when you create something that's beautiful and then you decide it's in the wrong place. It's beautiful, but it's in the wrong place, and you have to take it away. Yeah.
Songwriting, don't fall in love with any of your words. Okay. So you may be inspired by a set of words that creates the song, and then you get rid of all of those words and go with something else. Okay. Because that's where it leads.
That's the movement.
That's a good rule. I mean, right? You just have to hold it lightly. And I'm going to show you how you're going to rotate brush sizes. You know, that's what you're going to do. And there is no right or wrong. Remember, we're all going to come up. We all started differently up here, and we're all started on the book page. Even though we have 3 yellows, they're all going to go in a different place. And then this is most important: trust the process. This is just about observing your process, observing the paint, falling in love with the paint, and letting it be wrong, right? Or right. Okay? So I'm going to just demonstrate here. I've got my 2 brushes. Now, everybody, you're going to find there is, you know, I think when you're a beginning artist, you want rules. And you'll find out some people mix on their palette, some people mix on their canvas, some people tell you to use, well, you have to mix all your colors. You can't use pre-made colors, because that's an issue of mine. I love, like, if I find a blue that I like, I use it. And I know it's going to hit right where I want it to hit, I use it. Yeah. But these are personal choices, you know? And so what you do with the part about this is always learn to pull from the side of your paint. That way you're not destroying the whole color blob. Okay, does that make sense? Pull from the side. I also like these straight edges. These are very cheap brushes. So let me tell you what a good brush is. See how you have this deckled edge? That's not good. You want it to have a nice tight line. Okay. but these were $5. And I bought my kind, 42. Yeah. Okay. So, but I'm going to start, in this case, I'm going to start with the wider brush just because I want to make some big marks. I could start either way. I could start with the blue. Now, I'm going to show you something else, and I'll share this with you, Nancy. Don't worry about cleaning the brush too much. In fact, if the brush has a little bit of that green in it, it's going to bring harmony. When your colors have each other mixed in, it gives you harmony. And so I'm just going to feel it, right? I'm just, and of course, I wish I had my music, but I can't record with music at the same time. But you just feel it. The line work, that motion can be what is so beautiful. And if you remember that painting, now this is a very thick brush. I don't know if I'd use much of this thick one on this little piece of paper. So I'm going to switch to the smaller brush. I'm going to pick in my whites. And remember, I'm feeling, remember, I don't care. This is Chris's cheap board. I'm not worried about clean. I'm not worried about being perfect, but I'm worried about just feeling it and feeling that wonderful, thick, rich texture. I could stop right now. Now, if you watch my videos, I don't. I usually like to go on and on and on. But sometimes it's good, when it's this thick, it is good to stop and let it dry, unless you want to mix it to death. Now, I could mix it to death, or I could start, what I like to do is, I say when big moves are done, right, why don't I focus on small moves? What if I just look at it and think, well, I kind of like this, but I don't like that this paper's just, I'm going to fill a little bit. So I'm doing small, delicate moves now. So I'm taking my bright cream color. The reason I like a straight edge is I use it to give me straight edges. And I like, this is a Chris Miller thing. I remember Crystal saying, why do you have little shapes? And that's a Chris Millerism, where I draw a shape and then I keep it floating. Yeah, and see, and I let the colors peep in. So what we're trying to do here, I'm sorry if you can't see how that green is peeping through? It's the layered look. You're creating a story that someone will walk up to your painting and go, what color was first? They don't know. You don't want them to know. You want them to just feel it. And see, so you can come in here and you can clean it. I love that thickness. I think I might just let it stay and dry a little bit. But you can also take, maybe I don't like this. See this blue tip? Maybe it's just hanging out there. Now, I could take it off. I always keep an old dust rag at hand, or you can use paper towels, but dust rags are more environmentally friendly, and you just take things off. You can just look. I just take that blob off, or you can use the paper towel, and then I can fix it. It's not over until what? Right. So see, I just played it down. I pulled that back by the light colors. Now black, if you have black, will add another dimension. I'm going to let mine dry a little bit, and I'm going to let you all take a move now so that you saw that. Just start, and you know what? Start with your bigger one, or what do you think? It's up to you. Choice. Steve has a big area of black on there. He can let it dry and then take white back over it and cover it back up. Don't feel like you have to stop. This is so early. We're early, right? We're not running. Are we done? Do you want to? We could just end in 2 minutes and call it a day. This is about extending that area of play. And so stop. Don't think about is it going to look good or not. Just feel it, right? Remember, as it dries, you just can take out things you don't like. And that's where you get into interacting. Good movement. See how the white is now it's opaque and it's hiding what's behind it. And so now you can pull things back and forth. You could say, well, I love this curve, but this is, maybe what if I ran white over this part? It would go away. And that curve would come up. Because this isn't about finishing anything, right? It's just about you go home tonight and you say, oh, I had fun. That thing looks like crap, but you know what? I was in a place of fun for 2.5 hours. And I love it.
Thanks again for listening to the Spiritual Artist Podcast. Whether you're watching this show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, or iHeartRadio, make sure you choose the subscribe button so that you will receive updates when new segments are released. Most importantly, be still, listen, and know that you are a spiritual artist.